Hi everyone, welcome to Wendy Speaks. I am your host D. First, let me just say thank you. Thank you for taking out time of your day, to be here. I know life is busy, you've got things to do, but somehow you've decided to spend some time listening to me talk today. And this means a lot to me, and I just want to say thank you. Wendy Speaks is a space for real conversations. We're going to be talking about adulthood, the parts that nobody really prepares you for. We'll be talking about work, relationship, personal growth, resilience, and how to actually build a life that makes sense instead of just reacting to whatever is happening around you. We're not going to be stating theories or trying to prove points. We are not here for motivation, even that does sound good, but it doesn't really work. We're here because life is real and it is hard, and you need someone to actually talk about it honestly. So, if you're still figuring things out, if you're still finding your footing, if you're still struggling, even if you're winning and you want to win better, then the space is for you. If you hear what resonates with you, do me a favor, like, share, follow, comment, and share it with someone that you love. Send it to that friend who needs to hear this. Post it in your group chats. You know, let's just grow together. Now let's dive into today's episode.
Hi guys, so I heard this phrase for the first time in secondary school. My principal, Mr. Gideon Ikeboasi, said, "When you fail to plan, you plan to fail." And as at the time I didn't get it, I was like, "Oh, okay, cool, wise words, whatever." Right? It didn't matter at that time, so why should I really care about it? It was just, an elderly man, sharing a wise word that he probably heard from somewhere. That was how I saw it. But now I get it, especially now that I'm having to deal with so many moving parts of my life. I have to deal with work, personal life, finances, all of it. When you don't have a plan, you're just reacting. You're just surviving, you're not building anything. Today we're going to talk about planning, not the theoretical version, but the actual practical version, and why it's the difference, why it makes a difference between who make it and who just stay stuck. So every 5 AK market day, you watch people pass out of NYC, just leaving the service with a certificate, and they have no idea what is coming next. And then you ask them, "So what's the plan? What are you doing after your service?" And most of them tell you, "Oh, I'm looking for a job. I'm open to jobs. Something will come up, right? No roadmap, no strategy, no backup plan. Except you're a nepo kiddo, you better start asking yourself real questions. After all the 77k is gone, yes, I'm jealous. I got 33k, right? After 1 year of service here gone, and most people don't have anything to show for it except the certificates. And don't worry, I'm lucky on this table too. Trust me. I think my clarity started happening about a year after NYSC. Right? That's when I realized that it was the beginning of the end and nobody was coming to save me. But then you see other people, right? You see them being very intentional. They plan during their service year, they take courses, they network, they've gotten experience, they do internships and volunteer work during NYSC apart from where they are posted to. And then when service ends, they have options, they have clarity. They might not have it all figured out, obviously, but they have a goal, they have what they are looking forward to, they have where they are going, and they have a direction. The difference is not talent, it's not luck, right? It's just planning. I haven't created something for this. It's called the NYC Survival Guide. It's a roadmap from service year to purpose, and the whole reason why I built this was because I saw many people wasting that service year and thought, why not share what I have learned, right? Because the earlier you start taking responsibility for your own life, the better, right? I'll put the link right in the description so you can check it out. But here's what I actually realized: planning works for everything, not just NYC. When I ask some people, where do you see yourself after NYC? What are your plans after NYC? You know, right? And they begin to list things in perfect order. It looks like they have it all figured out, and then me, I'm just sitting here, I'm like, this person has their life figured out too. But right, I changing my perspective to look at it from their own angle. The secret is that they actually have a plan. They probably have it written down. They have a roadmap. They have where they are going. They have, plans of how to get there. The thing is that plans don't always work out exactly as planned. Obviously, life happens. Things shift. Things change. But here's the difference. The people that have a direction, that have a destination, even when things change, they are still moving towards something. They might just need to adapt. Do you understand? But someone with no plan, when things change for you, you are lost and you have nothing to reference. So this is what adulthood has taught me about planning. One, a plan doesn't always have to be perfect. It just needs to be valuable. A lot of people don't plan because they are waiting for, in quotes, a perfect plan. The one that makes sense, the one that nothing can go wrong. But does that really exist? Plans are always going to change. That is why they are called plans. Things are always going to come up, but having a direction is better than having no direction at all. Two, the plan is where you learn. Here's what happens when you plan. You make an outline of what you want, who you want to be, where you want to be, and you start working towards it. And on that journey, you learn new things, you discover new parts. You find out that some parts of the plan won't work the way you've set them out, so you adjust, you adapt. And that adjustment is learning, because that's actually the building process. You're not just executing a plan, you're developing yourself in the process. Three, you have to walk and work together, right? You have to have a plan, and that is walk, that is WALK, but you also have to put in the work, that is the WORK, that is the execution part, and they go hand in hand. If you plan but don't work, nothing happens. If you work but you don't plan, then maybe you're just random. I think you need both, right? Number 4, the plan gets better over time. As you work, you learn. As you learn new skills, you gain new knowledge, you discover new opportunities, and then you update your plan. That's not failure, that's actually growth, and that's self-development. That's learning different ways things will and won't work. So how can you actually put this into perspective? First step, get clearer on what you want. I work on resumes and CVs for a whole lot of people, and the first question I always ask you is, what is the end goal? What do you actually want to do? Like, what is your career path? Right? You have to outline it. You have to write it down. What do you want to do? Who do you want to be? Where do you want to be? Right? What places do you want to go? Be specific. Not just I want to make money. Right? You have to be very specific with what you want to do, how you want to do it, and how you plan to get there. You have to be very specific. Second step is you have to break it down to smaller goals. Having a big vision is cool, right? But it's also overwhelming. So when you break it down into smaller steps, what do you need to do this year? What do you need to do next year? What do you need to do in the next 3 months? What do you need to do in the next month? And make it actionable, make it realistic, fit it into your current schedule. All right? Don't be overwhelmed with goals and work and personal life. And step 3, you have to create a timeline and start putting in effort. Put dates on it. By so time this month, I should have X done. Right? By this month, I should have learned Y. I should have learned this particular skill. Right? And then start. Not today, not and start today, right? Not on Monday, not next month, but today. Because here's the thing, the earlier you start, the earlier you learn, the earlier you fail, and the earlier you become better. And when you become better, the more valuable you become, and the more value that you have to give yourself, to yourself and the society. Step 4, review and adjust regularly. At the end of each month, at the end of each quarter, at the end of each year, look at your plan. What worked? What didn't work? What did you learn? And update accordingly. This isn't failure, this is growth. This is adjusting, and this is you adapting your plan to the current reality. Step 5, do not wait for perfect conditions. Perfect conditions don't exist. You are never going to feel 100% ready. You are never going to have all the information that you need. You are never going to be 100% sure. Start anyways, do it scared, and figure it out on the way. Plan your life, right? Write it down, walk and work towards it. Things will change, that's okay. You adjust, and then you keep moving. The earlier you start, the earlier you win, the earlier you lose. I think the better for you and the society, right? Thank you for spending time listening to me today on Wendy Speaks. I'll catch you on my next episode. Goodbye.